and welcome to your yoga class today. I am Erica, and we will start by coming into a comfortable seated position. You can be seated on the floor, on a pillow, even in a chair. And when you get into your comfortable seated position, I want you to notice the muscles along your spine, holding you up. Noticing how your spine nicely stacks, making any adjustments so that your body feels comfortable here. And start to bring our awareness now in towards our breath. Allowing ourselves to be present. Any stress, worries, concerns, allowing them to melt off of you. Pooling onto the floor. And after observing the breath, not necessarily needing to change anything about it unless that feels appropriate for you, we're going to start to lengthen our breath. Drawing out the inhales for a count of 5 and matching that length with our exhales. So go ahead and breathe out every little bit of air. Inhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. We're going to gently start to lower our chin down towards our chest. Rolling the right ear towards the right shoulder. Head comes back through to center. And then we're taking it over to the left side. Left ear drops over towards the left shoulder. And softly bringing the head back into the center. And then bringing the right ear back over to the right shoulder. And as we're moving here, you can continue to work with your breath. Inhales lifting you up, exhales taking you over. Noticing the muscles along the neck, through the shoulder, behind the ears, into the jaw. And just feeling it, not necessarily trying to get any specific result. We'll work on that later. Good. Taking a deep breath in. And another deep inhale in. Pressing the chest forward. And on the exhale, just the opposite. Pressing the back. Pull the belly button in. Round the shoulders forward. Kind of hollowing out the front body. Inhale, coming back up. Let the chest lift, lifting through the collarbones, let the shoulders drop. Exhale. Once again, rounding in, feeling your pelvic tilt curl under. Inhale, pelvic tilt moves back, the tailbone lifts. Exhale, just the opposite, tucking the pelvis under, hollowing out the belly. Pull the shoulders forward. A couple more times. And then we're going to gently twist all the way over to the right. Hands open out to the sides. And then as we're twisting out to the left side, left hand goes behind you, right hand in front. Repeating a couple more times. Just allowing that twist to move through the whole spine from the bottom all the way up to the base of the skull. If like a little bit more space, opening up through the shoulder blades, getting more stretch for your back, your lat muscles. And open the arms up as you're twisting. And then coming back through to center. Reaching the arms out in front of you, pressing the palms into each other. On the next inhale, you're going to open the arms up nice and wide back behind you. Feel the shoulder blades moving towards each other. Exhale, same thing again. Hands reaching out in front of you and feeling that hollowing out of the front body like we were doing earlier. Inhale, reach the arms back. Exhale, curl it in. Good. A couple more times. Good. Now on this next inhale, reach the arms back. Exhale, pull it in. Inhale, reach the arms up. And exhale, folding forward. Next inhale, reaches the arms back out to the sides again and back behind you. Exhale, pulls it back in, rounding the back. Inhale, lift the arms back up towards the sky. And exhale, bowing down to the earth. Good. Continue. And then pausing, and the next time you fold forward, moving through the shoulders here. Exhale, lower the shoulders down. Inhale, pull it back. Exhale, lowering down, chest down. On the next inhale, we're going to sweep the right arm up towards the sky. Exhale, bring it back down. Inhale, sweeps it back up, twisting to the right. Exhale, bring it back down. One more time. And with these, feel free to add in more if it feels good for your body. Switching to this other side, left arm's going to lift up on the next inhale. Connecting through your breath, feeling the movements through your pectoral muscles, across from your bicep tendons, moving across the chest, through the collarbones, maybe even feeling something through the sternum. Keeping your mind present and with the movements of your body is going to keep any of that stress, any of that suffering that we might be experiencing to not permeate this moment. So next we're going to clasp the hands behind our backs. I like to sit up when doing this so it allows my hands more space to lock out. Lifting up through the chest, tilt the chin up slightly. Don't let the head drop back too far. Press the knuckles down towards the earth. Just creating some space here through the chest. We're going to come to eagle arms. And it doesn't matter which side you do first. Spiraling the arms around and making any movements here that might feel good, or just holding. Noticing that space opening up behind the shoulder blades. Switching sides. Now for me personally, when I come into eagle arms, it creates more tension and tightness right at the top of my shoulders. So Doing a little slight release of those muscles when coming out of the eagle arms really helps a lot. Gets rid of that almost completely. I'm just placing my hand on top of my head here. I'm not pulling my head down, just using the weight of my arm to give more stretch. I'm doing a couple rolls, couple movements through the neck here, just loosening it up. And now tilting forward, coming forward onto the hands. You can choose to be seated like I am, cross-legged, or you can come into sitting on your heels. Just reaching forward. Little spine undulations here through the thoracic vertebra and the cervical vertebra. Just opening up through the intercostals. Allowing more movement. That's the whole purpose of today's session, is just creating more movement around the rib cage. And we're going to twist open to the right, reaching the right arm open. Left hand still stays down and extended to the left arm. Switching sides, left arm's reaching overhead here, twisting towards the opposite direction. Right hand still down on the ground. Starting to rise back up. Pressing the backs of the hands against the knees, opening up through the chest, turning the position of the humerus. Reaching the right arm all the way overhead. Right hand touches down in the back, left hand comes up from the lower back, reaching for fingertips. If you can't reach your fingertips, you can keep the hands there, or you can choose to grab a prop, which would be a scarf, a belt, some kind of strap that you could grab onto. Switching sides. Something that you could grab onto, and with the top arm, letting it dangle down behind your back, and then reaching up for it with the bottom hand, and then just deciding which arm needs a little bit more stretch. Go ahead and move from this position into tabletop. Once we're in tabletop, we're going to create even more movement for the rib cage, reaching out limbs. So go ahead and extend the left leg back behind you and extend the right arm out in front of you. And you can always use a pillow or a blanket underneath the right knee in this instance. On the exhale, bring the elbow and the knee together as close as possible. Inhale, reaching out. Exhale, curling in. Good. Inhale, reaching out. Exhale, curling in, touching the elbow to the knee. Good. And you can do as many of these as you want to. You can even pause the video and do a couple more, especially if it's feeling really good. Not only are we increasing the core strength when doing these, but we're also creating more flexion, more movement for the rib cage, the muscles in our back and our chest, through the belly, moving through our pelvic tilts as well, strengthening up through glutes. This movement, it gets a lot of body parts. There's a lot of benefits to being able to do these often. Good. One more squeeze. And then coming back into your tabletop. Moving through some C's here. Gaze to the right, hips to the right, gaze to the left, hips to the left. You can also incorporate S's instead, which would be taking the hips to the left, gaze to the right. Again, if this feels like too much rocking or grinding on your knees, use a blanket. Curl the toes under, lift the hips up, downward facing dog. So you can add movement into this dog if it feels good. I'm putting movement into the upper body here. On your next inhale, lift the gaze. Exhale, hyper step both the feet to the top of your mat. Inhale, up halfway. Exhale, fold, just finishing the back part of a sun salutation. Inhale, reaches the arms up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale the arms back up, noticing the space underneath the ribs. And exhale, fold, keeping that space fairly open that you just created there, grabbing onto opposing biceps or elbows, heel toeing the feet about hip distance apart, and just letting yourself dangle. You can also start to sway like a tree in the breeze here. Noticing how that opens up the right side of the lower back and then the left side. Noticing all that space opening up through the diaphragm under the rib cage. And if you want to create even more space underneath the shoulder blades through the side body here, you can also grab on as you're twisting and then using a little bit of that tension, a little bit of that traction that you're going to get from grabbing on to open up even more through the sides. You can even grab both legs too, like I'm doing. And just letting it come deeper and lower. Whatever you'd like to do, it's up to you here and how you want to position your arms. Just remembering this is a lower back stretch. Good. Heel toe the feet closer together. Come up halfway, a little lift, drop the seat down. We're going to rise up into a chair pose here, nice and slow. And the reason we come into chair pose is just so we don't get too lightheaded from hanging out on the floor. Gently bringing the hands back to heart center. Awareness comes back to your breath, back to this moment. Thank you so much for practicing with me today, and namaste.